Okay, so we move on to our last example for this section, and boy is it a doozy. Boy is this thing a doozy. Huge mess. 5 parentheses 3 minus 4x minus 8 parentheses 2 plus 7x equals 6 times 3x minus 2. So remember from the last section, when we simplified expressions, we sometimes had to deal with distributing. Remember, we have to take that multiplication, and in other words, take that 5 and multiply it through to both pieces. Take the minus 8, multiply it through to both pieces. Take the positive 6 there and multiply it through to both pieces. So we have to use our distributive property here to multiply out in this particular example. So we start to do that. 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 4 would be minus 20x. Minus 8 times a positive 2 makes that a minus 16. And now be careful, you have to take the minus 8 times the positive 7 as well and make that a minus 56. It's a real common mistake to forget to distribute the negative sign there. Minus 56x. And then we move on to the other side. 6 times 3 is 18x. 6 times 2 would be minus 12. At this point, we have now simplified all of the multiplication that we had going on. And so our next step is to combine our like terms. And so what I've gone ahead and done here is I've underlined my 15 and 16, my number terms there on the left hand side, and also underlined my variable terms so that I know they're like terms, and remember to combine those going across. On the other side, 18x minus 12, there's nothing I can do. Okay, so remember to be careful, you have to add these across, not underneath here. So we go ahead and take 15 minus 16, that'll just be negative 1, and then negative 20 minus 56 will be a negative 76x, and then the other side is still just 18x minus 12. At this point, we've simplified it down so that now we have just a number and a variable, And so from here, we go ahead now and say we need the variable on one side and the number term on the other side. So we can either move the 76x or the 18x. I chose here to do the 18x. Okay, moving it over to the left-hand side. So far in all the examples we've done this as 2 steps. But at this point, now, the variable is going to be over here on this side. So that means this minus 1 here, I'm going to want to eventually get rid of that. And so I'd end up adding it. So I'm actually going to go ahead and do that and combine these 2 moving steps into one problem. So I'm going to take the 1 and move it to the other side by adding it as well. And so then I simplify, the 1's go away, minus 76 and minus 18 will be a negative 94x, and on the other side, negative 12 plus 1 will be a negative 11. And then we just need to finish the problem off by doing our last step, which is the multiplication step. Divide both sides by negative 94, and then we just have to simplify the fraction, negative 11 over 94. Negative signs will cancel out, and that's actually all we can do. There's nothing we can take out of both 11 and out of 94. And so our final answer here is this not so nice looking fraction, x equals 11 over 94. 11 over 94.